This is day 1050 on the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor a commission of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. Very greatly appreciated. So you can see we're back in our normal video location. The lighting is hopefully better than most of the days we've had it previously. Last couple weeks over Pesach time. Today we are doing Siman Yordeh Siman Peites Sif Yudalid to Yordeh Siman Tzadi Sif Gimel. Yudalid. Arukh HaShulchan. He also wrote the Ramah. Shamish Besuda. If you have a servant who's serving at the Suda, the Nogeh Bochli, and touches the food, Ein Tzarich Natil does not have to wash. Lo Tzarich Natil Rak Lo only require washing for people who are eating. Akal L'Sharon. V'Yisigulav, they took issue with Ramah. Lo Nemar Ze Eliyah Natil Sedayim. Oh, that has to do with washing, but Mayim Rishonim for bread. כמו שכתבנו באורחיים מ"ם ק"ס ג' שותים לחז"ל נטילת ידיים לאכילה רק למי שאוכל. חז"ל did not institute the נטילת ידיים washing for eating, only for the person who's actually eating, not for a person who's serving or preparing. V'lo l'mishamish, not a person who's serving in this case. Ein sham. But the middle waters, which shatam hu mishum dveikos ha'ma'achol, which has to do with whether food, fleshik or milchik, clings to the hands. If he's eating or if he's serving. Mirako said, as long as he's doing things with his hands, so he's got to wash. That's the shach. And the prichodesh. B'linira, Arukh HaShulchan says, the ain't kana saga, it's not a issue. The bein ma'im rishonim bein ma'im tzayim, whether it's water before you eat or water in the middle of the meal. There is no issa the rice involved. Lest you come to eat truma b'tuma, lest you come to cook meat and milk together, which is a big stretch, obviously, from just touching things. It is a kavachomer. If the water before the oven teals to dime, the chamir, which is severe, they started to point the chazal. Somebody eats without washing. If you had tamei benim, nevertheless, you're not machmir by a servant. Somebody goes without saying that the water is between milk and meat. They made a decree for the people eating, not for the people serving. Obviously, common sense has to be involved, but there's no strict decree. The bracket says, somebody who tastes a meat dish, it's nothing. He doesn't have to wait. Nevertheless, he has to scrub and rinse. Prichodesh writes that as well, writes that explicitly. Somebody ate cheese, wants to eat meat afterwards. He has to remove the breadcrumbs of which you ate with the cheese. It says anybody who ate cheese, wants to eat meat afterwards, he has to remove the crumbs. Chobetz is gvina, is cheese, and kupar. I said kupar before. Kupar, who basar is meat. V'asar lecho hagvina mapo shachlu ba basar. Now I'll eat cheese on a tablecloth in which you ate meat. Can laugh and vice versa. Div shashlo tia mapo kama tipin shel basar. It's not possible in the cloth some drops of meat or shachov or milk. Ubasar lach. And if you have soft meat, it touches the bread. Also, now eat that bread with milk. And so to vice versa. It's the best thing to do. You ate cheese or milk. If you want to eat meat afterwards, you should move from the table the bread and all the food you ate with the milk. And with on this cloth. Put it on another cloth. With other bread. Other vessels. And then eat meat. And that is the widespread custom, truth, as you saw in most of the exiles of Israel. Tezayin, the Rapashul, it's clear. Also, now to cut cheese, I feel it's even it's cold. The sakin with a knife shugim lachto basar, which you normally cut meat. V'lo now this afilu hapas ochel im agvina, the bread which you eat with the cheese. Also achtok b'sakin shechotchim bo basar. Now to cut with the knife which you cut meat with. Hasakinim, because sometimes on the knives shumnosh basar korish there is congealed meat fat alehem upon them. Shochem bas, when you cut the bread, neat bagbo, it clings to the bread. That's Beis Yosef. The Taz says, therefore, if you wipe off the knife, it's mitzvah. Koshken shaydei ni'itza b'karka kosher, certainly by sticking it into the tough ground, it's okay. Mutzav zakolin lechem. That's all in terms of the bread. Lo yichlin atzon, not in terms of cheese himself. Eim hayab b'diavad, unless you did it already. But deliberately, lachto gvina b'sak shabos, to cut cheese with a fleshik knife, also b'chayin, that's also no matter what. For the lever, and so too vice versa. Shakin shachov, a milchik knife, lachto bo basar, to use it to cut meat, or lechem lecho bo basar, or bread with which to eat meat. Have a din commotion is bar besakin shabosah. The halacha is the same as we have clarified by a meat knife. Lachtoch bogvina, to cut cheese, or lechem lacholim cholav, or bread to eat with milk. But no kol Yisrael, all Am Yisrael has a custom. The Yosleim shtei sakim, to have two knives. Echad shabosah v'echad cholav, one meat and one milk. Jews nowadays we usually have three knives: meat, milk, and parv. Also the bread we eat with meat, chotchim b'sakin shabosah, we cut with a fleshing knife, shachov with milk, shacholav with a milking knife. And with Dr. Kim, we just said, the people are meticulous. Those are meticulous. Sakim. They have three knives: echad shabosah, one of meat; echad shachov, one of milk; echad shachochin bolechem, and a bread knife. They don't use neither for meat nor for milk. Only to cut bread. And the custom is, in order to avoid switching by mistake, roshin kol charitzin, you make like indentations al shel cholav on the milchik one. Simon cholav, and the way to remember that is charitzei cholav. It's a pasuk somewhere in Tanakh marks the milk. You don't deviate from that. Nowadays we use usually red and blue. By almost everybody, red is fleshik and milk is milchik. Man, blue is milchik. So, and the shanos, don't change from that. The misha ein l'rak sakin echad, so you know, as one knife, yachol lachtoch lechem l'shneim, use it to cut bread for both fleshik and milchik. Raki zor, you should be careful. L'kaneach sakin yafe to cut it to clean up the knife very carefully. V'akaros kanos gedolos. Plates, small and large, shabai shabasar, which are in the house of shabasavad, meant that's exclusively for meat, or shacholavad, or exclusively for milk. Yasu mishnei minim le'kera, make from two different types, two different patterns. So you know the difference. So these slaves, so you shouldn't get a switch. Chen kaposim as go. So too, buy your utensils, your cutlery. Chen kol claim all the vessels, or less was charitz and shachov, or to make indentations on the milk vessels. V'chein ogu kol Yisrael. That's the minhag of all Jews. You find an indented knife in the Jewish street. It's certainly a milchik knife. That's the name. Panimiros. And so to all kalim. I don't think we have that custom nowadays. Yitzayin. Those who say she'ain like yilkli shabas shachov or lehefech. You shouldn't switch off from fleshik to milchik or vice versa. Times shema lo yelo rakli echas, because maybe you only have one vessel, but you can lend basar chalav basar. You can keep going back and forth from milk to meat and meat to milk. But meat, you're going to make mistakes. Chum yaseru. Says big chumrah. Ve'ain lanu exotic gears that we should not make zeros on our own. Kim Dumani, that this is the Chazim Sofer, who says that you can only go once in one direction. You can't go back and forth. But Arukh HaShulchan disagrees. He says you can go back and forth. It's too big a chumrah, and we should make our own gzeros. In brackets, Simon Kuf Kuftes, you could yash kasa gam b'shem agomi pozne lehatir. Agomi pozne, I believe it was Rabbi Kiva Eger. Not sure about that. Anyway, the bottom line is that I believe even according to Chazim Sofer, once you're being magil for Pesach, you can switch back and forth. But during the year, you're not supposed to switch back and forth only once, according to Chazim Sofer. Again, the Arukh HaShulchan is Mekel. Simon Tzadi, Dine Chautz, the Osa Bishulo. Well, no, nobody in America gets to eat the udders because they are illegal to actually eat. But in Eretz Yisrael, when I was a young lad, I heard that the butchers would take the udders home and eat them because nobody else wanted to buy them. It actually tastes pretty horrible, evidently. Okay. Hakchal. The udders of the animal. Where there's a small animal which has not yet nursed the other animal, it's young. Adain ben loyoda vlad, even if even hasn't given birth yet. Ben gedola, even if it's or if it's a large animal. Shrat yoda, which already has given birth. Should them leim cholab, whose udders are full of milk. You see, like it says, be'iyov. Atinov, its teats. Malay cholab are full of milk. There's no prohibition whatsoever. Came with you cholab shkuta, since it's the milk of a shechted animal. We already learned that Torah asra b'cholab amra b'cholab imo in the milk of its mother who's alive, lo b'cholab shkuta, not the milk of its slaughtered animal. And sham. It's awesome in rabban like any meat and milk. The chen came in the achal, since the udders themselves who basar is meat. You must remove the milk from it. By ripping it like an X, this way, that way, up and down, and sideways. Because let's slap it on the wall. Shove it with your hands into the wall. In order to squeeze out its milk. By ripping by itself, milk will also come out, but some will still remain in the walls of the udders. You have to squeeze out very strenuously. So no milk remains at all. Because it doesn't have specifically be against well, because means to squeeze it with strength. If you rip it and cut it, compound several times, crisscross over its entirety. It's even better than banging on the wall. That's the Ramah. Yeshua compared the theme of several specific halachos. V'hainu ol it's close to levato eish, where you have to roast it by itself on the fire, or levashlo, or to cook the levato by itself, but there in a pot, the mine with water, below basar without any other meat, or levashlo, but there cook it in a pot, in basar with meat. Our rabbis have three opinions, as we shall see with God's help. Base. L'shitas Rashi's feel it's close to the bottle eish. According to Rashi, even to roast it by itself on fire, it's got to rip crisscross lichatchila, at least initially. If you could, v'dayo b'kach, that suffices. The came to eish, since it's on the fire below there without any pot. If you just cut it on in the width, the length of the width, all the milk will flow out. By the fire. If you ever feel a cloud, you mean even to rip it off. Mutter, it's permissible. The fire sucks out the milk. If you need from the inside, it looks like it sucks out blood. To cook by itself in a pot. You have to rip it up and down, and slap it against the wall. The below without this, the milk will out to the meat, and the others will reabsorb them. We absorb that milk. Below mine, therefore, even if it's a pot without water, so can you have to do this? So can you do this? I feel the it's forbidden. Mine less than 60 in the water to negate the udders. Does he's back to cholov, but mine then the milk is nullified in the water. Whatever remains inside, it's absorbed milk. Because which Rabbanan did not take into account. It's pretty chodesh. To cook it with meat, the chomer. The Talmud also, some say it's always forbidden. Doesn't help to rip it backwards and forwards. And shove it against the wall. The Das Rashka and Rashi, but the evidence, but the evidence okay. You already did. Yes, some say you can even literally cook it with meat after Kriyash Tiver and Ticho B'Koiso. There ain't shum tam mechalik ben bishul with vado and bishul and boston. Nobody's differentiating between cooking it by itself, where the others are also meat, and cooking other meat. Sharei day zeh, because this way milk goes out altogether. Matam yesh soy boston, why should you forbid other meat? That seems primary. The Ran and the Prichoder say that. Kimoshitas Rabbeinu, that's Shitas Rashi. Shitas Rabbeinu Talmud, the Zeshum Gemara, the Kdeira, it's all Kriya Shtiver, and for the pot you have to rip it, the Ticho Gosa, and slam it against Wohu, B'Kdeir, Shabasa, it's with meat in the pot. Have a Kdeir, Blobasa, but others by itself, or Tziesh, or roasted on the fire. Mutter Kriya, it's Mutter, even deliberately, B'Kriya Ktsatz, just with ripping a little bit. The time of the chmir in basar is more machmir when it's there with other meat. The fish time of nichas or basar because the taste of the milk goes into the meat. Mishtan time of basar change the taste of the meat. Here's the time basar and has the taste of basar. Chen goes to chachan has the chachan made the decree. Shem basar there's no meat in the pot. Ava bishlo koshli b'zer even though you cut it back and forth. Came and shakar tzatzi to cut a little bit, ripped a little bit. Mutagam chachil to muta even deliberately. Neish ein acholav bang because the milk is not extant explicitly become as it was previously. Babi nafla nifla chavin the milk has been removed, has been expelled. The chazim nifla the tocha kakal then it gets reabsorbed into the others. Look, also chavin not to make a decree against this came shlon nishtan etamo shachal because it doesn't change the taste of the others. Mean neighborly azu because this absorption. It's not going to bring you to eat more basar chov of the truly forbidden type. The other mutar, and if it's after the fact, it's mutar if you look cloud, even you rip it all. There's no distinction between roasting and cooking below basar without any meat, or with meat. Because also when you roast it, the milk drips on the cow because the nilabon gets reabsorbed. The law make about kapot, we don't say it's going to get expelled again as it was absorbed. El badam, because I only say that by blood, shetivo kenu, whose nature is like that, not by milk. For the mishak shark, it runs off. But so that would be okay. But if you have a drop of milk which fell on a piece of roast, I know chozapoli doesn't come out again. Just like if it absorbs some fatty substance, which goes down to semen eye. That feels free, even roast does not then emit again, give off again the fattiness that Shabbat which it absorbed. Became in the sleek Rashi have mutter below kriya cloud since by roasting even when she Rashi it's mutter to be ever without ripping it all. I'm there below Boston this to be true also by a pot without any meat in it according to the Rabbeinu Tam. And next tomorrow we'll see the Rif and the Rambam, right?